right, so now we're going to get into the USB Ultimate Sandbag Press Out Squat. This is, again, it's one of those movements where it may look complicated. It's actually an easier movement to do. You can do this with a beginner. The key is load, load, load. You have to have a light enough bag. The bag is way too heavy. You're not going to be able to perform it correctly. For women, that's why we have typically the pink bags, which is like 10 pounds. And with males, I typically would recommend using one of our 20-pound bags here, the small core black and green bags. So I'm going to show you the press out squat. As far as, again, many of the movement is about creating tension. So the way you're creating tension with this particular movement is you're gripping the bag, the USB, no handles. You're actually putting your hands directly onto the bag, and then you're going to gently pull it apart. So you see that? I'm just trying to pull it apart, and you'll feel with my elbows in, your lats turn on, which again, you're going to hear that said constantly. It can be a little redundant, but that's the key. You can turn that on. Now for this one, I want to turn sideways, because you're going to notice as I sit, I'm pressing that out, and it allows the bag acts as a counterbalance to my hips. And that's the whole thing. A lot of people, when they squat, there's no load. So similar to a goblet squat with a kettlebell, it acts as a counterbalance, and that's why goblet squats are great, because people can stay vertical when they squat. Same premise. With the goblet squat, some people have a hard time creating tension. You know, they'll try to break the handle. But with this, ripping the bag apart, it allows a lot of people to sit. And again, I'm not a great squatter, and as you see, I can really get some really good depth going out. Now, as far as arm positioning, the key is you'll see the common mistake with this, the flaw. People will do this, especially someone who's weaker in the upper body, because it does require some upper body strength holding that bag. So you got to coach that up. That's where using the proper load is key. Again, we've seen it has some good success with women with 10-pound bags. You'll press out. As a coach, one of the keys is you may say the creases of the arm, you may want that facing up. So they're almost pressing out like this. What that does is it brings that elbow in closer, drops down, and that may help them get their lats turned on a little bit more. Now, a nice healthy progression is we typically start people with the bag going vertical, but now we can get here a little more challenging. So this is a progression. But again, same movement, we're just changing where we're loading the bag. Pull it apart, and again, pressing out as I go here. The concept is the same. Challenge is a little bit more demanding because it's playing with levers and things like that. So again, to give you the side view, elbows in here, start with the bag about belly height, right? Pull it apart so the lats are turned on, and I'm gonna press it out as I sit. And notice, I'm staying pretty vertical with my spine going on that one. So both our USB press out squats, you as a coach have that option. A beginner or intermediate person may start the bag vertical. If you have someone who's done this movement before and they've done it proficiently and correctly, you have the ability to progress them and turn it that way. So that's your USB press out squat.